Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka. You're with me, Harith. On this, the 13th of December, we have a very interesting show lined up for you. Of course, interesting area of the world of spirituality. Humans and spirituality is something that we dwell upon and we wonder, don't we all have to be spiritual? And we are going to discuss with a certain gentleman who is here in the studio with us later on. And also in the world around us, a lot of interesting things have been happening. Well, for the music fans, Norah Jones fans will be shocked to hear that Ravi Shankar has passed away at the age of 92 in the United States. A sad day for those that wonderful gentleman, of course, a brilliant musician, sitarist, and brought the cultural music into that Western world and produced that wonderful talent of Norah Jones as well. Well, we condole with the fans and followers as well as the family of Ravi Shankar. And also in Sri Lanka, well, the Chief Justice's impeachment still keeps going on, and the bar associations all around Colombo as well today taking a strike and protest happening in there as well, with the president intervening and making a statement. So that is also coming to a strange climax again. We don't know where it's going, but it's interesting to see. And also the Sri Lankan cricketers down under must be getting ready for the test series. Of course, a crucial test series of 3. Indeed, a wonderful honor for Sri Lanka to be playing a boxing Boxing Day test match as well. And also some Sri Lankans participating in Australia in the Big Bash. So catch the action live as well on certain on those matches. Muthai Muralidharan playing recently with Shane Warne and doing very well, much better than Shane Warne. So for your friends out there, you can catch him in action again. Of course, yesterday being the 12th of December 2012 was a very interesting day. A lot of events were happening. I think there were some parties around, and certain world events also happened where people went around the world and witnessed what was happening in the world. One day on Earth. Very interesting documentary that was taken around the world, scenes from around the world captured in that on the 12th of December. And let's take a look at that trailer and return.
May the 7,000 actions of our brothers and sisters from around the globe on the most widespread day of environmental action in the planet's history make a significant difference.
One community trying to exist apart from all other communities is not in any way acknowledging the entirety of existence and how it depends, everything depends on everything.
All these, I think thousands of different minds, different views, different thoughts interconnected.
Indeed, captivating images. One day on Earth. Indeed, it's fascinating to think about what is happening right now in another country, in another place, in the lives of another person. That is, of course, what that video captures, and in fact, focusing on environment, especially because one of the biggest concerns today is whether this world can go on for another 50 years the way we are destroying our environment. Recently, the uproar around Sri Lanka was with regard to the cutting down of the trees near Reed Avenue, those wonderful shady trees. Of course, there was a legitimate reason given by the Urban Development Authority, but then still it mattered that environment is being harmed. And this video telling us a lot about the world and the concerns about the world and capturing that emotion, the action and what happens around the world in one day. And with that, we'll head on to a quick commercial break on Good Morning Sri Lanka, and we'll be back with this wonderful interview. Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka, and you're here with me, Harith, on the 13th of December. As I was saying, we have a very interesting interview lined up, and we have here with us in studio, we are honored to have the presence of His Holiness Younus AlGohar, who is the CEO of Kalki Avatar Foundation International. Welcome, sir, to Good Morning Sri Lanka.
Thank you very much.
So I'd ask you first to let us know about what is the Kalki Avatar Foundation.
Kalki Avatar Foundation is a spiritual organization, and it's like a multi-faith organization. It caters for the needs, the spiritual needs of all humanity, regardless of their religious background. And we talk about spiritual nourishment and growth. We provide knowledge and practical approach and divine methodology. It is nothing to do with any religion. It's purely based on spiritual sciences, how to enlighten and how to revive the souls and the spirits, and how to become a spiritual person connected with the other world, at the same time living a very social and economical life in this world.
It's interesting, so you connect the spiritual life with the social and economic lives as well, the practicalities of the world. Now, it's a fantastic thing that you said, so that it is a multi-faith based spiritualism. Now, when I talk about faith, what is faith? There are so many religions in this world. What is exactly a religion in this world?
Yes, you're right. There's so many religions and so many faiths. Some of the religions are celestial religions. When I say celestial religion, it means they were established by prophets, and those prophets received revelation from God. So we call them celestial religions. And some other religions are man-made religions. So the basic theory of a religion is to worship the Supreme Being and seek for help. And there is also a concept of hell and heaven. All three Abrahamic faith, Christianity, Judaism and Islam, and Sanatan Dharma, Hinduism also. So religion is basically to control yourself, your desires, and discipline it according to the divine revelation, according to the divine law. That's all the religion is about.
Would I be correct to say, sir, that all religions ask of human beings is to live a good life on earth? Would that be correct to say?
Of course it is correct. All religions direct us to do good.
Now, in your spiritual practice, I understand that unconditional love is one of the main foundations. Can you elaborate a little on this?
Unconditional love.
Divine love, yes.
Unconditional divine love. I don't think it has to do, and it has nothing to do with the religion. Because practicing a religion, we're always aiming for good life hereafter, going to the paradise. So we have a target, we have an aim, that we are being good for a reason, and we're loving God for a reason, we're becoming good for a reason. I don't think this is sincere form of love. I don't think this is unconditional love. Unconditional love has no conditions at all.
I see.
You just love somebody, whether it's a human being or it's God. If you love God for the sake of loving God, that will be unconditional love.
I see.
However, adopting a livable lifestyle in order to be able to enter paradise, or in order to have good life hereafter,
that will be conditional.
That is conditional love to my understanding.
It's a very interesting interpretation there. Of course, we'll go on to discuss about practically whether you can in fact be a human being and unconditionally love even your enemy. We'll discuss that. But before we go into that, so I want to discuss about what has happened to humanity. Now, we see every day there are wars, people are dying, people are killing each other, people hate each other. Every day we see enmity, hate, disease, there is so much trouble in this world. What has happened to humanity? Where is the spiritualism?
Humanity is suffering from the corruption which has now taken place in religions. When the religion is corrupted, then humanity suffers, and this is exactly what's happening today.
Why would you say so that religions have corrupt? Is it because men have become they thought they are above the gods, or is it because that they think that they don't need a god, they're too smart, too academic, too much knowledge? What do you think is the reason for them to not follow religion, to corrupt religion?
It's not about people thinking that they're better than God or they're greater than God or that they do not need God. It's to do with the modification in the divine text, in the revelation. People who are responsible for carrying out the religious duties, who educate their respective nations about their religion, they are responsible for bringing that corruption into the revelation of God. When the divine text received by the prophets and messengers is corrupted, then you cannot find God, even if you practice that religion really hard. And this is one of the reasons why we have extremism and fanaticism in the religion today.
I see.
Not being able to understand, not being able to understand the meaning of the divine text, having a wrong interpretation of the religion will lead one to become a fanatic or extremist.
Does it mean so that then everyone has misunderstood, or is every religion corrupt, or is every person practicing religion corrupt, or is there a sector of the world which is corrupt? Would you say we have lost it completely?
Actually, it's very profound, and one has to be really keenly observing into the religious probe. For example, the religion consists of two main types of knowledge. Knowledge of the exterior, what we read in the book, and then number two, which is more important than this, is the spiritual connection with God. When you're spiritually connected with God, you receive the divine messages, and you can then see the same thing in the Holy Bible, in the Holy Quran, or in any other religious book. You don't go wrong. We do have religions, we do have practices, we do have worship places today, but we do not have today is the divine link. We're not connected with God. This is why there is so much misunderstanding about things. When the connection with God was lost, Muslims became bad, Christians became bad, Hindus became bad. But those who are spiritually connected, they are good Muslims, they are good Hindus, they are good Christians.
Right. So there we understand that the world is not at the end. I mean, we do have people who have good religions.
There are some people.
There are. But then there is a corrupt sector as well. So I would ask you, what is your opinion on atheism then? Those that believe there is no God.
I think that would be really unscientific to say that there is no God. That would be really unscientific, unrealistic.
Right. So I find it very interesting that you say it's unscientific, because what I would say, God is based on faith and not on fact. So would you?
Well, I understand God doesn't only give us faith, but He is not based on faith. He is based on facts.
I see.
There has to be a creator for the creation to be created.
I understand.
Nothing comes into being without anybody bringing into being.
I see. Fantastic, fascinating interview we are having at this moment. We'll go on to discuss a lot more about this world, about this problem, and how spirituality can solve problems right after this commercial break. Hello and welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. You're there with me, Harith, and His Holiness on studio. In studio, it's interesting, and I hope you're having this enlightened morning, because there's so much to discuss with spiritualism, religion, and things that we take for granted really. And when we discuss with this gentleman here, it does enlighten us a lot as to what we should really be thinking. Now, sir, tell us a little bit about spiritualism. How can spiritualism help to solve these problems in this world?
I understand in the light of spirituality that we become good and bad not because of our body. There is some hidden source, there is some hidden power, positive and negative. Some people call the positive power the presence of God, and the negative power the presence of devil.
I see.
It is controlled, remotely controlled by the negative powerhouse and positive powerhouse. This body itself is not capable of doing anything wrong or right. Spirituality provides a reason and a practical approach towards reviving that positive nature that we have inside our body, the soul, the spirit.
I see.
And that negative presence in our body, it makes us do wrong things. There was a time when spirituality was part of religions. When people shun the practice of spirituality in religions, religions became incapable of catering the spiritual needs of its followers. It was part of the religion. Now, because the practice of spirituality was shunned by people, therefore people are distancing themselves from religions and from God. We are trying hard to raise the awareness of the importance and significance of spirituality in all religions of the world, all around the world.
I see.
And the important factor in human life today of spirituality is that with the help of spirituality, we can bring a very positive change in one's character. It's all about the characteristics. God is very good. We need to bring in ourselves the characteristics of God, and that is to do with enlightenment, like Lord Buddha. He found positive nature in him. He diminished negative nature and he uplifted the positive nature. This is exactly what spirituality is all about. To revive the positive nature and bring in a positive characteristics and getting rid of the negativity in our body.
Let me ask you this also, sir. Now, in the current modern world, we do have other methods also where people say there are ways of living a positive life. For example, this art of Feng Shui, how you have a living space where they say the positive energies can be channeled. And there are various things like yoga, where you can get positive energy. Are those also part of spirituality?
Yoga is a form of exercise. It gives you peace of mind, gives you relaxation, but it does not connect you with God. It can bring you some good positive things in life. You'll feel better physically.
That's the point, sir. I would say then you would suggest that they make your body, the physical element, positive and not necessarily the mind, the spirit. I see. Now, that would suggest, sir, that the mind and the body are totally two different concepts. Are they separate?
Well, I understand a body is just a vehicle, and the mind, which is of course controlled by those two presence in the body, positive and negative, that's the main driver who drives the vehicle.
Now, in general, sir, there are things that we believe that are physically impossible for us to do. Through spiritualism, is it possible even to do those things that we cannot do? For example, levitate. Now, we've heard of people who levitate. We've heard of people who have special powers. Is that through spiritualism?
I would like to say here that spirituality is not about doing things.
Special things.
It's not about doing things that people will think, oh no, this is not humanly possible. Spirituality is about enlightening your inner dimension and getting connected with God. And of course, when somebody is connected with God, God then gives them divine powers. But those divine powers are given to certain people in order to bring goodness to human life, not for an individual's personal pleasure.
I see. Now, sir, if I ask you, as advice to a general person like me, how do I live a better spiritual life in general, in practice? How would you advise someone to be more spiritual?
In order to be spiritual, we need to start enlightening our souls. There are special mantras, and with the practice of that mantras, bringing that thing in through meditation, and with the help of meditation, we bring in the divine light, and that divine light will enlighten our souls. The more divine energy enters in our spirits, more spiritual will become, and the effect of that spiritual practice will show in your mind, in your body, in your thought process as well.
Right, sir. Now in practice, we talk about divine love, unconditional love in spirit. If we are spiritually enlightened, sir, for example, can I love my enemy? Is it possible, sir? As a human, we are physically made to hate. We hate some people. But through spiritual enlightenment, is it possible, sir, to even love your enemy?
Well, what I have been told and what I have been trained, love is something that is not by choice. It happens. And of course, you cannot love your enemy. It would be too fake to say that I can practice and I can discipline my emotions and I can love my enemy. That is not possible. I can safely say that people who want to love God, they don't manage to love God, let alone loving their enemies.
It happens.
It happens.
I see. And
There is a spiritual chemistry,
right,
that takes place.
And it is through this process of being more spiritual or enlightened in spirit is how you love, have you happened to love your enemy?
It is to do with the souls. The souls who used to live together in the primordial time before coming into this world, if they were together, upon their entry into this world, they fall in love with each other, and that is unconditional love.
Right.
You cannot love anybody with your own efforts, with your own choice.
Now, so if I ask you, for example, say now I have something bad to say to someone, I don't like him, but if I restrain myself, I say no, I should not say it, is that getting towards a spiritual life, or is it I'm stopping what my instincts, but it is for better spirituality? Is that what the message is about?
It's very good. If you want to, if you hate somebody, and you think you're better off not telling that person that you hate them, it's good. It's good, but it's not spirituality. You're trying to refrain yourself from creating a point of mischief. You're saving yourself something. Right. You're not putting yourself into danger.
I see.
Of initiating.
It's more of a personal interest rather than a spiritual interest. I want to come to discuss a little bit about the healing process and spirituality. How does healing and spirituality connect, sir?
Healing is to do with spirituality very profoundly. Every organ in our body has a special form of energy. And when that energy is lost due to any reason, the energy has to be replaced. Now, either we replace the energy, which is found in many herbs, in many fruits, in many things, and doctors, traditional doctors who know the knowledge of this, they make medicines of this. We take the medicine, the lost energy is replaced, and you get well soon. And with the help of spirituality, when your heart is enlightened, when your soul is enlightened, it becomes the powerhouse of all sorts of divine energy. Then you blow upon them and the energy is released from your heart, and this is how people get their lost energy and they are healed.
It is true, sir, because a lot of people say if you have a pleasant environment, if you be positive to a patient, he heals much better, whereas if you are negative, you don't heal. So I understand that there is definitely a connection. I also want to come to your objectives, sir, of creating a global community. One community in the world, sir. Is this, why, firstly, why do you want to achieve this? And secondly, is it possible in this world?
Well, it is possible. When Adam was sent into this world, the whole humanity was one nation, and towards the end it has to become one again, united, and that will only happen when the hearts of all humanity are unified with divine love. When all begin to love God, no matter what religion they practice, when their hearts are enlightened and controlled and disciplined by one God. There are many names given to God. He is one. Whether it's Ram, Krishna, God, Allah, Bhagwan or Jehovah, there are so many names given to one God, but He is the one. When all the hearts are unified, we will forget. We are from Pakistan, you're from Sri Lanka, he's from Israel, he's from India, he's from America. Because the hearts are enlightened and we love the same God.
Right.
That will only happen when the hearts are enlightened and unified.
Now, as a final question, sir, what I want to ask you is, I understand that this is possible, the love within people and for God and this enlightened society and one world is a possible thing. And your final message to those of them listening out there, what should they do to come to this level as people?
Well, God has given the images of the awaited one on the surface of the moon, in the holy black stone, in the sun. And my piece of advice for humanity is, when the moon rises from the east, look at the moon and look for the human profile on the moon. And then in whatever language you speak and whatever religion you practice, say the name of God 3 times and you will receive divine energy from that human profile from the moon. And that human profile belongs to Lord HH Younus, who is the awaited one. People has to do it and see how it helps them in their day-to-day life, in their spiritual life, in their religious life.
Thank you very much, sir, for this enlightening morning, and I'm sure viewers would have also understood the value of being spiritual in this world. We have our busy lives, we have our work, we have our friends, we have our family, but we do forget that there is someone above and there is a level of spirituality, and that all of us need some spirituality at the end of the day. Thank you indeed, sir, for this wonderful day, wonderful interview. And you can get in touch with His Holiness on this website, that is goharshahi.gs, that is goharshahi.gs, or email at kalkiavatarfoundation.com, that's KALKIAVATAR foundation.com, and you can get in touch with them if you want to know about more spirituality as well. And thank you very much, sir, for being here. And with that, we'll have a wrap on Good Morning Sri Lanka on the 13th of December, and we'll see you tomorrow bright and early.